Hey everybody, this is a special focus video because the announcement that the XRP ledger is going to be used for central bank digital currencies, it deserves some special focus. This is a turning point, a big turning point for the use case of the digital asset XRP. Here we have a card that Stead has put together with a quote from James Wallice, and it goes on to say, RippleNet's on-demand liquidity service allows financial institutions to transact in real time across multiple global markets using the digital asset XRP, and such a solution can also support the direct exchange of CBDCs. It was in July of this year that James explained how the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies, are going to be the next wave of innovation. And across the global news wires in the last 24 hours, it was announced that the Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan would partner with Ripple to pilot a central bank digital currency, building atop its current infrastructure, bringing financial inclusion to Bhutan at a percent of 85. That is going to happen by 2023. The photo that you see here commemorates the launch of the Bhutan's immediate payment service called BIPS in January 2017. It transformed their payment system for instant transactions, pushing the digital development faster than many other countries. The Kingdom of Bhutan is a landlocked country. It's located in the eastern Himalayas, bordering China to the north and India to the south. Can you imagine being sandwiched between the two largest countries in the world by population? They have a currency called the Ngultrum, and it is a population of 754,000 that use it. It took the top spot for a country with the happiest people in 2019. They measure it as GNH, gross national happiness. In fact, they value it more than their $2 billion GDP. In 2020, it was the #1 destination for travel per The Lonely Planet. 70% of its land is under pristine forest cover. And it's not just carbon neutral, it's carbon negative, the only one in the world. For a country that has pledged to remain carbon neutral or carbon negative, it is a perfect fit for the RippleNet technology and the XRP ledger. The Ripple CBDC solution, it's 120,000 times more energy efficient than proof of work blockchains. So it is a wonderful solution. The following is going to be a montage of James Wallice. These are clips that come from LA Blockchain, June 2021, Ripple webinar, thanks to an upload from Leonidas, and a Voice of FinTech podcast that was available earlier this year. You'll see how this next wave of innovation will utilize XRP to bridge these sovereign digital currencies. And you might ask, why XRP? Because it's neutral, because of its low cost, and because it was built for payments. Please enjoy.
As I mentioned, Ripple has been deploying a global payments network. The company's been around for 7+ years. We're focusing on improving the overall experience and speed and efficiency around cross-border payments. The newest innovation that really we believe is a game changer is the use of XRP as a crypto asset to facilitate the cross-border movement of money. So In the old correspondent banking model, you have to pre-fund accounts if you want to send money from one country to another. We avoid that, which potentially frees up trillions of dollars stored in what are called nostro accounts within the correspondent banking model. We do that by transferring money, say in the US, from US dollars to XRP into, say, Mexican pesos at the other end, and that's all done pretty much instantly versus the old correspondent banking model. So that's the sort of Ripple net side of things. I'm working on a relatively new initiative around central banks. Now, just to put a bit of context, central bank digital currency is fiat-backed digital money. So, like, for example, a digital dollar that would be issued by the Federal Reserve System, or a digital pound that would be issued by the Bank of England. We have a sort of strategy around digital currencies. So within RippleNet, we use native XRP for our on-demand liquidity transfer cross-border. We have work going on in the stablecoin arena, and then we're working with central bank digital currency. So our philosophy is these different forms of digital assets will all have a place to play in the future of finance.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, which central banks in which countries are you working on or working with?
We're working with many of them. They're mostly under non-disclosure agreements. So I'm not at liberty to share the details, but I would say we are working with them in each continent apart from Antarctica. Well, when CBDCs are widely adopted, these are going to be big systems that transact hundreds of thousands of transactions with millions, if not billions, of people eventually. So that's the second piece, interoperability, and the third piece is what we call a neutral bridge asset. So this is the idea of how do you do foreign exchange between two different CBDCs, right? You could do that. The central banks could have a bipartisan sort of agreement with each other on exchange rate, or you can go through what we call a neutral bridge asset. Could be something like XRP that is essentially used as that layer to do the FX between two different CBDCs. I think if you kind of step right back, I think some of the major currency pairs will even with CBDCs will have some arrangements amongst themselves, right, on a bilateral basis, probably. But there are over 200 different central banks or countries in the world, right, with currencies, and not every bilateral agreement is going to exist between every country, right? So I think the notion of having a settlement network where you have something like a neutral bridge asset that could be used for those sort of more exotic corridors as well, I think could be very interesting. I think, and I just repeat something I mentioned earlier, just to kind of reinforce it. The on-demand liquidity offering that we have, is really a game changer. Right? There's, based on the analysis, the research we've done, over $10 trillion in trapped capital that we're addressing now. Obviously, we're still, small, and we're just, starting out on that particular journey. But that particular offering, grew, 12x year on year from 2019 to 2020, with billions of dollars flowing through it. So that we feel very good about that. We feel on our overall transactions, we just sort of released for the first time some of the transaction numbers, which are in excess of 3 million transactions over RippleNet in 2020. And then, in Asia in particular, we had huge growth. The region was up 80% year on year in terms of, new deals signed, and 1,700% growth in transactions, which is huge. So I don't want to blow our trumpet too much, but the point here is I think we view ourselves, and I think the evidence supports that we are a clear market leader. And I think, if you look at a lot of the projects that were started, even when I was back at IBM and blockchain, I don't think there's anyone else that's got the same amount of commercial transaction around blockchain that we have so far. So we feel good. We're not resting on our laurels, though. We're continuing to innovate and expect to see new offerings, on a regular basis as we try and build more and more capability out to support more and more clients.
The world is now learning of the truth of how the XRP ledger is superior and coupled with the digital asset XRP is extremely powerful. The world is also discovering the SEC has wrongfully rigged the space. Rigged it by issuing a free pass to Bitcoin and Ethereum and then suing Ripple. The XRP community has worked together to prove in countless videos the dirty conflicts of interest, and now the latest video that spills the facts of Clayton going on a warpath, only to be continued by Gensler. To summarize this new CBDC collaboration, XRP will have another use case that solves a real world problem, proving its utility and its value. As a bridge between the rush of countries going digital, never forget utility does matter, and the truth will set you free. Thank you for watching.